All right, let's bring in our next guest from The Athletic. He covers the Reds on a daily basis. He's great. Trent Rosecrans back with us. Trent, how you doing? And, of course, we've been hosting already for hours, and we'll go for another few. So have I missed anything, or have the Reds been eerily quiet?
Sleeping.
Sam Mole? You're not, like, that didn't get you, like,
Sam Mole.
Keep you up at night last night?
I actually like Sam Mole's potential, but I'm looking for a little more. Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Like, what do you think could happen the next few hours? And also, if nothing happens the next few hours for them, are Reds fans going nuts that they didn't add to this ball club and show them that they think they could be a playoff team this year?
I think there will be a lot of people, if they don't do anything, will be upset and kind of curious, but you know, you don't want to be, to put this in terms of Reds fans can understand, you don't want to be on the other end of the Tyler Mahle trade. And that, with the amount of prospects and the number of great prospects that the Reds have, it's a possibility. You know, you guys were just talking about the Mookie Betts trade. Well, a big part of that was Jeter Downs, who went to the Reds to pay down Homer Bailey. It's like these things just live on for a long time. So you've got to be very careful about who you give up, especially when you're a team like the Reds. You don't want to give up Josiah Gray at this point.
Now, because I would say at least a starting pitcher to replace the spot of Weaver, even if they're not going at the top of the market.
Yeah, that's what you would hope. But really, who is that? And the Tigers seem to be holding up the market right now. And everybody, I think, in the game is waiting to see the Tigers asking prices on Lorenzen and Rodriguez go down, because so far they've been, I don't know, I've been told they've been asking more than the Mets were asking for Verlander.
And anything else? Like, do you think that since the offense has dipped over the month of July, especially once Elly De La Cruz kind of came back down to earth, which, hello, he's human. It's going to happen. And here's Todd Father. Perfect timing on the Reds. How we doing?
What's up, brother?
Do you think a bat is needed for this team too?
I'm not sure where a bat would play. You know, right now they have a guy like Nick Senzel on the bench, and I think Nick Senzel's a very good defensive third baseman. And probably the best I've seen with the Reds since Scott Rowland. And yes, I said that on purpose. And then other than that, I just don't know where a guy fits in. They just have so many young players. If it's a bat, it's, I don't know, a right-handed outfielder. But they already have Senzel for that. And it just doesn't, I don't know where a guy like that fits in. I think the offense should be fine.
From Ty, we're going to mix in many of these. So if you're watching right now on YouTube, not just to see Trent, but for any of the ball clubs that you want to cover, we'll get to those right after this combo. Ty said, any chance the Reds trade for Mariners' young pitching? Seems like they have some bats that the Mariners need.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good mix. And, geez, we know these two teams know each other pretty well. They will, well, not that Jerry DiPoto won't trade with anybody, but, you know, a big part of this rebuild has been through the Mariners. You look at a guy like Brendan Williamson, who's done a really nice job fitting in. Jake Fraley, they were traded from the Mariners. And then last year's biggest move was, I guess, coincidentally enough, a pitcher to Seattle to help them over the hump from the Reds in Luis Castillo. So I think it's possible.
What do you think of Jonathan India's situation, right? Like it's been a windy road, and we've seen you obviously, write about it with Ken, and it received a lot of interesting fodder, which, hey, I'm all about it. Like, that's why we love this game. Those are good, clean, healthy debates for the most part. So,
well, it's one that came true, right? It's like, everybody at the time, like, it was like 2 months before it happened. And that's the beauty of, being here on the ground. India's right now is on the IL with a foot injury, or heel foot, and if you're a baseball player, that's, it all starts down there. And so if you're having trouble moving, it's a big thing. So I don't know if they were going to trade him at the deadline regardless, but now seems to be less than ideal. But I will say, in the offseason, it seems to fit. And I think there was also a part, like, it could end up like the Hader trade, Remember what the Hader trade did inside the clubhouse last year to the Brewers and their chances? I think a Jonathan India trade could have had a similar effect because the vibe check on this clubhouse has been high all year, and they haven't really had anything to impact it. And it would be interesting to see what an India trade would do that way, but I don't think we're going to find out.
Hey, my question to you is simple: are the Reds going to make a run and win this division right now? Are they going to be the team of the Central right this year?
They've got a shot. I mean, every team, let's be honest. Every team other than the Braves in this league is flawed. You know, for early in the season, we were talking about the National League Central being bad and probably only having one playoff team. Well, they're not. They have 3 in contention, and that's because the National League, other than the Braves, is all mediocre. And that includes the Dodgers, a team I just saw that looks a lot better on paper than they do on the field. The 3 guys that pitched in that series against the Reds were number 70, number 78, and number 80. Like, I expect that at Camelback Ranch, not at Dodger Stadium.
Let me ask you this. There's always talk about the pitching. The pitching has been fantastic of lately. And, you know, not many people are really talking about the Reds pitching. Oh, they're winning games, but their starters have been excellent.
Yeah, you know, it's been really strange because Luke Weaver has been kind of the weak spot, and he's thrown 2 quality starts, I think, in the last 11 or 13 of the Reds, of his starts for them, and he's lost both of those quality starts. None of the rest were quality in between, and he was 9-1 with like a 7.8 ERA. Baseball's weird, man. I really think that the biggest thing for the Reds is the bullpen. You know, you go on Baseball Reference, look at National League leaderboard of appearances for relievers. Tied for first in appearances are 3 Reds. And then on the next line, you'll see another Red. So those 4 guys have been worked a lot. I kind of go to Alex Young every once in a while and just look at his left arm and just checking to see if it's still there.
Cubs, you see them all the time when they come into Cincy. Should they have been selling? You said 3 teams that are really in it. Are you buying that?
I am. I mean,
they're in it.
I think so. Just because, again, they can be. I think this whole league is terrible, other than the Braves. You know, and it's not like Stroman was going to get you that much with his recent troubles that continued last night. I just don't know that you know, maybe Bellinger does, but I don't know that Bellinger's going to get you that much for your next one. I think you have just as good a chance to make the playoffs this year with those guys as you would getting that kind of impact later on if you're selling off.
Listen, I don't see the Cubs involved. I honestly don't believe that they have a chance. You know, me and you, we agreed on everything, remember? Back in the day?
Yeah, I think so.
If you don't know, me and C. Trent, we had our quarrels, but at the end of the day, we always came together.
You guys hug it
out.
We
were both doing our jobs. No, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, Todd's great. Like, Todd gets it, and Todd knows that, you know, like, there's some guys in this profession, and I won't name names, that you see them afterwards going to the meeting, and you're like, oh, now you want to be one of us after you were a jerk to us all those years?
Yeah.
The 2 guys you have here were not one of those.
We kept it real. So my question now is, you say the Reds got a good shot, okay? Now, do you see them beating the Braves and winning the pennant?
No, not this year.
Okay.
No. I mean, I like the Braves just so much more than anybody else. And, again, 2 guys here who know better than anybody that playoff baseball is different. So I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be surprised.
All right, so fast forward to next year. Forward to next year. Are you your eyebrows perked up on that one? Are you so excited to be in Cincinnati for next year? For only we're not riding the Ellie De La Cruz train here. For only the starting rotation. Are you excited for what the Reds have because of DJ at the helm being the pitching coach that he is?
Yeah, and I think in the offseason, it's hard to get a starting pitcher to come to Cincinnati, but those guys might want to start coming here with what's going on. They're going to have money to spend. That DJ is there. You talk to, I mean, again, guys right here, Eric. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to hear me talk about DJ. You know much better, but what pitchers think about him and what he can do, and then knowing what you're going to have behind you and the offense you're going to have. This is a pretty intriguing place for the next couple of years. It reminds me of the early 10s, right?
Yeah.
When you saw, you just saw these guys keep coming, and you guys had a hell of a team. That 12 team was still the best team in baseball that year for me.
That was a lot of fun. That was my second year, I think it was. But you talk about bringing guys over, intriguing things. How about, I know I'm looking a little far ahead, but you might have a little better inkling than me. Joey Votto, is he going to – I know this is his last year, but what happens next year?
I don't know. And I think there's still a lot to be determined whether Joey's – I don't think Joey's going to play if he doesn't think he can help. But I also know that it's pretty important for Joey to spend his entire career in one uniform. And it's going to be really interesting. I don't even think I can speculate until we see what Joey does over this next 2 months.
Yeah.
See, Trent, awesome to have you on, man. Thanks for the time. Enjoy the rest of the trade deadline. We'll see if the Reds keep you busy here.
Yep, sounds good, guys. I was just checking text. Nothing yet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, that's fair. We'll talk to you soon. See, Trent. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.